Summer's here, and Nordstrom has everything you need for your best dress season ever. From beach days and weddings to weekend getaways and your everyday wardrobe. Discover stylish options under $100 from tons of your favorite brands like Mango, Skims, Princess Polly, and Madewell. It's easy too with free shipping and free returns, in-store order pickup, and more. Shop today in stores, online at Nordstrom.com, or download the Nordstrom app.
At Capella University, you can learn at your own pace with our FlexPath learning format. Take 1 or 2 courses at a time and complete as many as you can in a 12-week billing session. With FlexPath, you can even finish the bachelor's degree you started in 22 months for $20,000. A different future is closer than you think with Capella University. Learn more at capella.edu. Fastest 25% of students. Cost varies by pace, transfer credits, and other factors. Fees apply.
Welcome back to a bonus Sunday episode. I do this once a week so we can hear a little more content to optimize our lives. An extra episode from one of our other shows where we read articles to you. Today, I'm sharing one from Optimal Living Daily. If you enjoy it, you can follow or subscribe in your favorite podcast app for daily episodes. So with that, here's Justin from Optimal Living Daily as we optimize your life.
Giving Up the Lottery Fantasy by Chris Guillebeau of chrisguillebeau.com. Ever play the lottery? If you have, did you spend a few seconds thinking about what it would be like to win when you scratched off that ticket or selected your magic numbers? Don't lie, no one is listening except yourself. Here's my guess. If you ever bought a lottery ticket, of course you thought about winning. You had a secret lottery fantasy like everyone else who has ever paid their $5 to join the pool of potential winners. However, briefly, you thought about what life would be like with that oversized check and all those Powerball millions. Well, I've thought about that before too, but no longer. See, I've decided to let go of that fantasy. I haven't ever really been a big gambler, but I'm taking it a step further. I'm officially giving up the option to win the lottery for the rest of my life. How it started. When I was a kid, I moved around a lot, but most of the time I was living in states that did not allow the sale of lottery tickets. Note to international readers, in the US there are 50 states and each one makes its own laws, so some states have a lottery and others do not. No, it does not make sense to us either. Because there wasn't usually a lottery where I lived, whenever I went on vacation with a set of parental figures, we'd end up buying lotto tickets in Florida or New York or wherever. Also, every once in a while, a visiting relative or family friend would bring them to me as a present. Whenever this happened, we'd scratch off the tickets with reverence and a silent prayer. If given the option of choosing numbers, we'd carefully pick them out, usually composed of some combination of birthdays and other significant dates. A couple of days later, when the winning combination was announced, we'd all thumb through the newspaper or watch the nightly news to see what happened. We didn't kid ourselves, no one really thought we would win. But at least for me, and I suspect with everyone who's ever had their own glossy cardboard chance at instant wealth, inside my head I was thinking, I hope I win, I hope I win. See, I dreamed about how life would be different if I was a bazillionaire. I could buy whatever I wanted, wouldn't have any problems, wouldn't have any worries, could do whatever I wanted to do. If you've ever picked up a $1 lottery ticket or done any kind of gambling, you probably know how the fantasy goes, because I bet you've had one too. Giving it all up. Fast forward about 20 years to the day before yesterday when Jolie and I were walking around Portland, Oregon on a 3-day trip down from Seattle. Life was good and we were talking about the future and all the things we wanted to do. While passing by a 7-Eleven, one of us said something about buying an Oregon lottery ticket before going back to Washington. We kept walking without going inside, but a couple of blocks later I stopped with a sudden thought. I don't think I want the lottery ticket, I said. In fact, I wouldn't even want it if it was free. Here's the thing. I've decided I no longer need the Powerball fantasy. I'm no longer interested in thinking, what if I could win the huge payout? I don't have a problem with gambling per se. If you're going to throw your money away, you might as well buy lottery tickets since at least the profits usually go towards state education budgets. No, I am now anti-lottery for reasons that have nothing to do with moral qualms. My reasons are even more personal. I am thrilled with the life I am building. I do not want the state of Washington or any other government entity, to give me my ticket to happiness. I want to earn it. Most of us know that money doesn't create happiness by itself, but that is the whole premise of the lottery. You can be nobody and all of a sudden you'll be happy for the rest of your life thanks to millions of dollars that dropped in your lap from one random spin of the Powerball wheel. And then you'll have everything you ever wanted, right? My decision is that I don't want the money for nothing. I want to create my own happiness and my own amazing life. If no one can give it to me, then no one can take it away. I don't really remember when I bought my last lottery ticket, but whenever it was, that was the last one. Goodbye gambling. Hello making my own life. By the way, I reserve the right to buy a ticket in a random country somewhere just because it would be pretty funny to win the Vietnamese lottery or something, but otherwise, I'm out. What this means. If you enjoy playing the lottery once in a while, my decision is good news. Your odds of winning have just gone up. I'll no longer be competing against you, so go out and scratch off those numbers to your heart's content. For everyone else out there, I encourage you to work on creating your own amazing life too. I know that many of you are doing it, and it is really encouraging to hear the stories. So now, over to you. Do you need the lottery fantasy? Do you need the what ifs? How about this one instead? What if life was what you wanted to be because you made it that way? What would you do then? You just listened to the post titled, Giving Up the Lottery Fantasy by Chris Guillebeau of chrisguillebeau.com.
The origins of this podcast were once just a dream. That dream turned into the podcast and business you're listening to today. Starting your own business is a dream lots of us share, but too many of us let it remain just a dream. Don't hold yourself back thinking, what if I don't have the skills? What if I can't do it alone? Turn those what ifs into why nots with Shopify by your side. Shopify powers millions of businesses worldwide and handles 10% of all e-commerce in the US, from household names like Mattel to brands just getting started. Build campaigns that reach customers wherever they're scrolling. Plus, Shopify's expertise covers everything: inventory, shipping, returns, and beyond. If you're ready to sell, you're ready for Shopify. Turn those dreams into and give them the best shot at success with Shopify. Sign up for your $1 per month trial and start selling today at shopify.com/OFD. Go to shopify.com/OFD. Shopify.com/OFD. When investing your money starts to feel like a second job, Betterment steps in with a little work-life balance. It's the automated investing and savings app that handles the work so you don't have to. While they build and manage your portfolio, you build and manage your weekend plans. While they make it easy to invest for what matters, you just get to enjoy what matters. Their automated tools simplify the complex and put your money to work, optimizing day after day and again. So go ahead, take your time to rest and recharge. Because while your money doesn't need a work-life balance, you do. Make your money hustle with Betterment. Get started at Betterment.com. That's BETTERMENT.com. Investing involves risk. Performance not guaranteed.
Thank you to Chris. This is one of those articles where I feel like I could have written it myself. I used to play the lottery somewhat frequently, basically whenever it reached a certain threshold where the expected return was fairly high. Yes, I'm a bit of a nerd with these kinds of things. So let's say it was at like $500 million. My logic was, well, $1 isn't going to change my life, so might as well spend it, because if I won 500 million, even after taxes and everything, if it was like 125 million, that would be life-changing. That's still true. But what Chris talked about in this article is also what I've felt over a period of time. First, we've heard the stories on this podcast before that lottery winners, or even people who come into money faster than usual, will often lose it all or go bankrupt, maybe even go into depression, you name it. And that's because, as we all really know deep down, money doesn't bring happiness after we reach what would be considered enough, which isn't much at all. And second, what would actually change? Would you get more stuff, a bigger house? And would that actually bring happiness? Or are you looking to quit your job? And if that's the case, what then? I guarantee you wouldn't want to just sit around and do nothing. So what would you do? And do you really need the lottery to take a step in that direction? And then last, as Chris also mentioned, actually feeling like we earned it is such a big piece of that picture. Only then can we find happiness. Or I should say more happiness, because happiness is not just a constant state of being. And yes, we'll have some thrills with hundreds of millions of dollars, but those thrills are really fleeting, and we can really find them without millions of dollars. The lasting happiness, we find that through things we talk about on this show, things like love, which we'll visit tomorrow. So with that, have a happy rest of your day. No shaming from me if you still want to buy a lottery ticket, but do think about what would truly change for you and if that would really bring you happiness. Have a great weekend if you're listening in real time, and I'll see you tomorrow as usual, where your optimal life awaits.